My Gavadan Melanine, and well met indeed. I am Arachir Galadirth, the head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. Welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as Khazad-dûm, the only campaign where I am safe, apparently, after yesterday or the day before. Allow me first of all to apologise. I should never have recorded that Woodland Realm video because I was just not in a very good position mentally to record said video. I'm not depressed or anything like that. I just was reasonably fed up on the day I recorded it. Doing 2-hour recordings on the 2 days before that took a lot out of me as well. I know it sounds funny, but if you get into this, you'll realise that doing recordings for that length of time, 2 days on the plod and then a third day really does take it out of you. But also, of course, today, although you're watching this on the Tuesday, but I recorded it yesterday on the Monday, and yesterday was the first day of my new job, and that was weighing reasonably on my mind when I was recording in the run-up to this week, last week. That makes sense. So the last days of last week, I was particularly nervous, shall we say. I'll admit it, I was nervous. Straight up nervous. Obviously, I've got a law degree. I've completed the first half of solicitor training, the legal practice course. And now I had to actually put that into practice. I've actually got to show that I know what I'm doing for the first time. All of my jobs up to this point have all been nothing jobs. Jobs that a monkey could do if we trained it hard well enough. So to actually finally have a job where I needed to show that I'm capable and competent was weighing on my mind. But after having done the job for a single day, I feel confident that I will be able to smash it out. Certainly perform, if not excel. So I'm very, very pleased. And so here we are with Khazad-dûm. So I apologise for the shambolic episode that was the Woodland Realm. The death of that general was so stupid, and I am just livid that that even occurred. And I'm feeling better today. We might as well just try and defend the square. The enemy always just beelines for it anyway, so we'll just try and defend here. Get everyone on the ramp. In some interesting modding news for you, the faction selection. When you're choosing your faction on the campaign selection screen, in the map in the top left displays all factions. Now this is a workaround that we have used because if you select the faction selection screen to show only the map of each individual nation, i.e. you would need an image for every faction in the game. So we have, let's say, I think there are 29 playable factions, something like that, maybe 28. You would need 28 individual images, and on each image it would show you, first of all it would show you, well, yeah, each image would just have the highlighted area that that faction starts with at game start, right? But to have the 28 images crashes the game because for some reason, something to do with hard-coded or soft-coded limits or whatever, the game cannot handle more than 26 factions, ergo 26 selection screens. And anything more than that causes a repetitive and continuous crash that you can't get round. However, there has always been a workaround for this, but I've just never felt it was, well, all that necessary. That's it. There's only one option. I just didn't think it was necessary. I thought it was additional work for no reason at a time when I was, well, Hummingbird when I were only the only modders on DaC. I felt the diverting time and effort to things like that, which didn't, I think, could take a backseat. But now that our team has grown, and Racer99, possibly 39s, has joined now as well, and he felt it was big enough to do. He's already fixed the Isengard script, he's already fixed the Mordor script, so he then turned his attention to it. So in version 2.0, as well as another new thing you're going to get, is independent faction selection screens. However, the workaround in order to get this to actually work means you've got to lose the independent unit screen. So basically that's how it does it. It just swaps them. So the unit screen becomes the map and the map becomes the units. So, well, the easiest way to have done that really would have been, well, I don't need to explain that. I'm talking about modding, that doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into the semantics, as it were, of the modding itself, of how it was done, but rest assured that there are now individual maps. However, the images of your faction's best unit have now gone, so there will be nothing in that bottom right, and we will spitball with ideas about what we think should go there. But that is just something to look out for. So now you will actually be able to see exactly what your faction owns when you're flicking through the faction selection screen, so that's good. Couple that with the fixes that Gigantus sent us, and it's looking remarkably stable. So I'm pleased with all of that, very, very pleased indeed. Also, this week we hit 18,000 subscribers, and I am, again, indebted to all of you. Thank you very much indeed for that. To this day, I am still amazed and surprised that people want to listen to me ramble on about this, this tomfoolery, but here we are. People do, and I continue, and I endure. So thank you very much to that. And in other excellent news, something I'm really excited about because I absolutely loved the game. I thought it was so good. Little Blue Ferret and I are going to return with a game played that involves both of us. We tried to play Lord of the Rings Conquest, but I just could not get it to work. I had the disc version. She had a different version. And even with Hamachi, we just could not get it to see us. If you have any tips and tricks about how to maybe get Conquest to work now the servers have gone down, about trying to fake a LAN connection, then do let us know. And also do let us know that if a cracked version, a different version, I admit nothing, and a disc version, if they can actually meet up. Now, I don't think they can. My knowledge from Battle of Middle-earth, Battle of Middle-earth 1 and 2, Battle of Middle-earth 2, sorry, is certainly that someone with the disc, i.e. myself, when I tried to play it with someone who has a non-disc version, we could not play together. Our games just, we couldn't even see each other in the lobby.
Let the crows have his miserable
the enemy general's already dead.
And let our swords have his men.
I will edit that UI, rest assured. I will find a way to do it. That's my own little pet project now, so... Oh, they're running. They're already running. We've absolutely blown it. Oh, that could have been such a good... They won't retreat properly. They'll come back and fight us, yeah. Hit them all. Just one massive blob. They'll flee again, I expect. Oh, it's because I forgot to take you off of that.
Much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
I want to catch them when they run away again. I want someone to be behind them. Because we couldn't get a Lord of the Rings game to work, we were looking into alternatives, and one game that was suggested to us was Magicka. And we looked into it, and I bought it, and we looked at it, and then and I thought it looked really, really good fun. And we've recorded the first episode. I don't know when Jess is actually going to put it up online, but it was an absolute ton of fun. Such a cracking little game. You feel so powerful with all of your little spells, and the humour in the game was on point. I really enjoyed it, actually. I really, really enjoyed it.
It is time to press the attack.
Can we capture any more? Because we've only got 79 of them. Right, that's it. We'll never catch them now. So stay tuned soon. I'll be doing an announcement whenever she actually releases it, i.e. my nearest video to the day that she puts the video up. I will say, go and check this out, and I will link it. But in this video, there is no link because it's not live yet. If you are totally unaware who Little Blue Ferret is, Little Blue Ferret, or Jessica, is my real life, as opposed to fake internet, which I don't think it really exists. Oh, well, RuneScape, I suppose, and all those weird games. Little Blue Ferret is my girlfriend of, well, 8 and a bit years now, actually, 8.5. And she has her own little channel, and we played a lot of Lord of the Rings games together there that I wouldn't feature on my channel. So there's a slightly different skew to it, but she also does a few videos of her own. She's got a Fable series going at the moment, a Styx series going at the moment, and Kingdom Rush. So a little bit of variety, a little bit of a fantasy sort of channel. I personally enjoy listening to her speak, and she's coming on leaps and bounds in her YouTube potential. And so the next game that we are going to feature is, as I say, Magicka. So stay tuned for that. The last game that we featured was, of course, The War in the North, which to be honest, I think is just a bit of a letdown of a game. But speaking of Lord of the Rings games, a question I've now been asked an absolutely unending amount of times is, A, what do I think of the Shadow of War trailer, and B, what do I think of Shadow of War /Shadow of Mordor? And I am afraid I'm here to disappoint you all, because I thought Shadow of Mordor was really boring. heretic, I know. String me up by my heretical arms. I absolutely found it boring. I did not like the combat style. I did not like the fact that if you could press Y, I played it on an Xbox controller, even on the PC. If you press Y at the right time, you can beat every unit in the game. Absolutely every unit in the game. The game was basically just a pressing Y at the right time simulator set in Lord of the Rings, and I just did not enjoy it. So boring. I didn't even get to Nirn. I didn't even get to the second half of the bloody game. I just got so bored before I got to the end. Telka in armor, yes please. Get those troops armored up. An annoying little trip here, something a total tangent again, talking about this game now. If a unit is going to be upgraded with experience or morale, then you have to add them to the recruitment queue as the last thing you do on your turn. So it doesn't have to be like if you're queuing up multiple towns, that's all right. It just has to be the final action that you do is to queue up the units that need to be upgraded with experience or morale. So if these 3 units here are getting experience upgrades, which I think they are, experience or possibly melee. No, I think they might actually be getting just armor and ironmongers. It should tell me actually. It will say on them what the next. Oh, it doesn't say. Steel chainmail apparently is their next upgrade. So, and what's coming out of the ironmongers? Iron chainmail. So no, they're not getting upgrades from that, which means they're getting upgrades from something else. Well, it has to be the final thing you do. But if you're upgrading their melee weapon or their armor, you can queue them into the upgrade queue at any time. It doesn't matter. So there's a little bit of interesting information for you. Right, so to go back to what I was saying then, I have no plans to do Shadow of Mordor. Why am I heading up here? To ally with Bree.
What is it you wish to discuss? I must say, another proposition for us then?
Why is map information
This isn't
demanding?
going to
You
hope for more.
upstarts?
Yes,
Bloody Bree
His
landers.
journey is over, sire.
We're also besieging Foradrain. We'll besiege that out. No need to sit and wait that one out. No need to attack them for no reason. And then our armies can combine as we continue ploughing north through the Misty Mountains. I am so thrilled that this campaign normally is the one that's a bit of a doddle. It's a bit of a relaxed sort of meander through. But with the Woodland Realm campaign taking an absolute turn at the end there, I could not believe how powerful Mordor and Rune are. We're in so much trouble. I eat my words, because at the beginning of that campaign I went on and on and on about how easy the Elven nations are and how easy it was going to be and how easy everything is, and now it's going to be a real battle. But then that's good. Challenge is good. And allow me also to apologise for the cheesing and, albeit fully cheating, that I have been doing in the Angmar campaign. It has met, as I said in the Woodland Realm video, with outrageous backlash. Now, in the Woodland Realm video, I was a little annoyed and aggrieved, so I automatically got defensive about it, to be honest. Whereas now, when I look back, I understand. No one likes to really watch someone cheating. We all cheat. We've all done it. Everybody knows the cheats. When no one's watching you, I'm sure many of you cheat. I don't cheat in any great extensive way. I'm not adding money to myself. I'm not creating units. I'm not resetting my characters so that I can march from Bree to Mordor in one turn or anything like that. I'm only selling regions to nations. It is a game mechanic. I'm just abusing it. I'm abusing the AI's stupidity, which is ethically wrong rather than cheating. And the zooming of my diplomats, somebody did mention this, and he was less than thrilled with my performance, but the teleporting of my diplomats is something I've always done. I've warned you all from day one that I do that, because I don't consider that cheesy, and I don't consider that cheating. Because, as I say, older games have since done away with diplomats, or newer games, sorry, have done away with diplomats altogether. So I've never felt bad about teleporting my diplomats around the map. Never felt bad about it. And so that will stay. That you will just have to suck it up, as it were, for that one. But I will be less cheesy with the settlement selling. And in future campaigns, if you stick with me onto whatever the campaigns after these 4 will be, then I won't do it as much. If at all. Everybody run if you could. So to loop back round to where we started, I don't think I'll do Shadow of War on the channel. I mean, I might do, but the problem is I've got to enjoy the game. Like, I was watching a PewDiePie video where he was going on about how some YouTubers, himself included, have played games and appeared really enthusiastic for the game, and like they've outwardly appeared like they really like it. because people have enjoyed watching them play it, but they themselves actually hate the game. And that's something that I'm afraid I just cannot do. I can't pretend to like the game just because it might be popular. In exactly the same way that right now, monetarily speaking, the lore videos, in terms of watch time, in terms of amount of money they make, in terms of how much views just in general they generate, the lore videos are far and away my channel's most popular aspect. The Astari video and the Sauron video have both reached 140,000 views. Or my top 10 most watched videos, 8 of them are lore videos. Like, they are so popular, and they bring in more. One lore video brings in about 2 weeks worth of the money that 2 weeks worth of my standard campaign videos brings in is brought in a single lore video. So commonsensically, that's not a word, but I'll use it anyway. Commonsensically, I should only do lore videos, but they take so much time to do, and if I did them once a week, I would get so bored. It would turn from being a hobby to being a chore, and that's when you stop. That's when your interest drops, and when your interest drops, it comes across in the videos really clearly, I think. So it's that kind of thing. I'd like to do Shadow of Mordor, because I'm sure many of you would watch it, because again, I would bring my Lord of the Rings information to bear on it. I'm not particularly great at it, but it would just be a laugh. We'll have a little romp around Mordor as an absolutely death-defying ranger half/wraith, completely unlore based. And it would be a laugh. I'm sure it would get good watch views similar to these campaigns that all get around 3,500 views, which is incredibly good.
The battle is very much in our favour.
That's about a 20% view stat, and as
the enemy general's dead, we have set the car to hell.
Oh, only the captain of that team, though. As I've always said on YouTube, if you get about 10% of your subscribers watching your videos, then you're in a very positive situation. So that's really, really good. And I'm sure Shadow of Mordor would reach that kind of level, but I would get bored. I just know I would. I would get bored, and I would rapidly see it as a chore to do the Shadow of Mordor games. Now, to talk about something totally related but yet different would be, a lot of people have asked me how lore accurate is the trailer for Shadow of War, and the answer is absolutely nothing that you see in that trailer is lore accurate, except Minas Ithil did used to belong to Gondor. That's about it. Like, that's the entirety of it. Celebrimbor not only is long dead, but also lived in Eregion. He never went to Mordor. He never forged a ring in the in Mount Doom itself. And there's no way on earth a mere ranger, would be able to forge a ring of power. The rings of power were only created because Sauron used his knowledge, his Maya-level knowledge, note the plural. He used his higher level of knowledge, mixed that with the very knowledgeable Celebrimbor, who is a descendant of Fëanor, arguably the elves' greatest, arguably the greatest living elf, aside from Glorfindel. Fëanor was the greatest craftsman who ever lived, like the greatest child of Ilúvatar craftsman, so a human or elf or dwarf. Although the dwarves aren't the children of Ilúvatar, but for these purposes we'll group them in. Fëanor was the greatest craftsman ever, and his grandson, I believe Celebrimbor is his grandson, possibly his great-grandson, one of the two. He is the gentleman who actually forges the Rings of Power under the supervision of Sauron. But they never go to Mordor to do it, and no rangers would ever be able to do it, so that's all just nonsense. The Balrog rising up out of the ground as well. I can admit that that was an epic moment in the trailer, but again, totally inaccurate. The Balrogs, those that actually survived, and we only know of one, they fled. They fled the service of Morgoth at the downfall of Beleriand. They were never heard of again until Durin's Bane surfaced and started plaguing the dwarves, where he got his name, Durin's Bane, and then, of course, killing Gandalf. And the other Balrogs, we don't know anything that happened to them, but none of them are said to have served Sauron, I'm afraid. Not a single one of them is said to have served Sauron. So that bit is all purely just a... Well, I mean, it's not... It's one of those things that... I wouldn't absolutely berate them for it. I'm sure it'll be cool. I'm sure it'll be really cool. And by all means, it's a exception you can make. Like all these lore fans who foam at the mouth when someone says I don't know, like, why don't the Eagles just fly the ring to Mordor?
If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
That, like, extreme level of fan will, of course, look at that trailer and be immediately affronted that they dare bring a Balrog to service for Sauron. But if you just stop and think about it, it's not that much of a stretch. The Balrogs did serve Morgoth. They were his greatest generals, save for possibly the dragons. Sauron was Morgoth's arguably most tactically superior general. So they are one and the same. They're both Maya as well. Balrogs are Maya, so is Sauron. And so they're the same sort of level. They're a different type of being, of course. They don't have as much of a story. But they did serve Morgoth, so it's not a huge stretch. It is a complete stretch. Like, it's a complete fabrication from what we know, from what Tolkien wrote. But it's not a complete stretch for a gaming idea or to bring the Balrog to service of Sauron, to be honest. And I think it is a cool feature, and I think it's a clever addition. I think it's going to drum up a ton of support for the game. I think they've hit the nail on the head with it, because fighting against a Balrog would be cool. So, there we are. So, in answer to the question how lore accurate is the trailer, the answer is not at all. No, it's horrendously inaccurate, would be the words that I would use.
Lies dead. Let the crows have his miserable bones, and let our swords have his men.
These Dunlendings have just died by the thousand. Another thing that I need to answer now that I'm in a better, more receptive mood is a lot of people have told me I should stop leaving the game at time 6 because I'm frequently getting extra units killed that need not be killed because I'm not paying attention. But one of the reasons why I leave it at time 6 is because in maybe 9 out of 10 games, like this map, for example, with me barely paying any attention...
Worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
Thank you very much, sir. With me barely paying any attention, we only lost a quarter of our army and we killed all of them. 272 dwarves just died, and over 1,400 humans died. In fact, 1,400 exactly. That's an interesting coincidence. 204 Dwarven Centuries. So most of the time you can leave it at time 6 and not pay attention, and it doesn't matter. That's probably Beren and Leithian, I would have thought. Could be someone totally unrelated, though. Kill them all. We can upgrade castles, actually, can't we? So, but I'd like a bit of money, so we'll sack the thing. So 9 times out of 10, I can leave it at time 6, not have to worry. My army does well, they succeed, I don't lose anything, problems are all solved. But then on that 1 or 2 times where I really should pay more attention, it really does bite me in the butt. But because it doesn't the rest of the time, I've never really been too bothered. Additionally, I much prefer the campaign aspect of Total War games. I know that's really niche, and most of you are probably here for the battles. Many of you probably skip the campaign and just watch the battles, who knows. But I much prefer the campaign side. Much prefer the campaign side. However, I don't like games that only have the campaign side, if that makes sense. So, like Civilization, for example, is often compared to Total War, and but I just can't stand it. The fact that your battles are totally made up by the game, like you're in the game's hands entirely, I've always struggled with that. I want to be able to at least affect the battles in some way, but I still prefer the campaign side. So it's a bit of a weird one. Oh, you can't build anything. That was stupid. Dunlarak, you're building me a town. Byrig, you're building me that. Dunyard, you're building. It might be have everything building something. That's very rare. Karen Amroth, Karasgarthon, Zagkala. Yes, everything's building something. So, build what you like, lads. You're building a pub, and you're building a new castle. Brilliant.
Yes, my king.
Right, by my reckoning, Dunland are down to 2 provinces. Kaloniak, and I think the Dead Marshes. So let's send Azakal up there.
Moving quietly. On my way.
That is their capital, and that is their faction leader. But we don't have the troops to take that on, and if he realises that and he moves his army out, he could do some serious damage. But we do have the troops to take that on in 1 turn. An army from Khazad-dûm stands ready.
Marching now.
A very good army, in fact. Can we train anything from here? We've got 1 turn. No, not really. I'm not really too bothered about engineers or miners. I can't do anything from Khazad-dûm West. Oh, I can get some warriors. Do they take 2 turns? No, they don't. So get a couple of them in. And then the whole army needs to be retrained, though. But it's 5 turns till that Telkarin armor is ready. Maybe I won't bother with retraining. I don't think we really need to. It's for the melee weapon bonus. I can do 5 at a time. That'd be an extra 3 turns. Because then they'll be 1 turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on another turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on another turn. And then another turn. That's that. 1, 2, 3, 4 turns from now. Whereas... Or I can move them all out in 1 turn. I'm going to move them all out in 1 turn. Oh, we don't have a second general in Khazad-dûm West. I don't think we really need one. I'm absolutely raking in the money. So I think after this campaign being an absolute cakewalk, I think I might change my previous statements and suggest that perhaps the dwarves are in fact the easiest campaigns. Because in the long run, well, I suppose it's difficult, isn't it? The elves are better. If you're playing a battle, the elves are better. They get better archers, they get better overall units. Some of their units are just walking mountains. And the elves are just better on the battle map. So that's why their campaign's always easy, because even when you think you're outnumbered, you're not. However, if you take into account the victory conditions, then the elves tend to be harder because every elven nation needs to destroy Mordor. That is basically the elves' only reason for being now. That's their raison d'être.
Yes, my king. They shall not see me, sire.
Mengelin. Please take Mengelin, Bree. That would help me out immensely. If you could capture that. Whereas the dwarves tend to not have to destroy Mordor. I mean, we're a prime example. We only have to kill the Misty Mountains and the Dunlendings. And that reflects the dwarven kind of lack of care. They don't really care about the rest of the world. They just want money, wealth, power, riches. Of course, the dwarves did historically fight for the world. They did go to the Battle of the Last Alliance. But in this kind of alternate universe that this Total War game creates, the elves are only staying behind purely. Just leave those two. Yeah, might as well.
Move out.
The elves are only staying behind purely to rid Middle-earth of the evils that plague it. And in this case, the evils, of course, are Sauron. So we'll train those to be the garrison there.
My king.
So that's why they have to destroy Sauron. That's the reasoning behind that. That army will easily be able to take Koloniak, especially if we give it to Balin. But the rest of you really could probably do with returning home, because none of you can be retrained outside of Khazad-dûm West at the moment. But then Ennard Wyth might start kicking up a fuss. Have we got another general anywhere? Yes, are you there? Thrall the Honourable.
Where's the fight?
Got a task for you.
This is a great place to spring a trap, sire.
Balin. Get rid of that guy.
By your victory.
And then you also go and build towers, actually. Should have done it the other way around, but I wanted Balin to head more towards Fëanor so that when the army crosses the river, he's there ready to take over. This episode, of course, as you will already have seen, I don't know why I'm even saying it now, is the last of the hour-long episodes. Speaking of which, because I've struggled with doing these 4-hour-long episodes, I've found them trying, I will admit that. Maybe it's because I've had the fact that I've started a new job on my mind. That's probably the reason, really. But also, additionally, they have been a little harder than normal. Having to find the time to do an hour's recording, finding stuff to actually talk about for an hour's worth of a video. Like for this video, I think I've spoken almost non-stop since it started. But the Woodland Realm video, not so much. Gaznag, what have you got? Oh, nothing. This is going to be an easy victory. So it has been a challenge. So in light of that fact, to mark the 30th episode of each faction, instead of every episode's 30th episode being an hour long, I'm going to do a sort of countdown. So the 27th Angmar episode, if we make it that far, is going to be an hour long. And then the 28th Gondor episode is going to be an hour long. And then, you've probably guessed where this is going, the 29th Woodland Realm episode is going to be an hour long. And then the 30th Khazad-dûm video is then also going to be an hour long. And then that pattern will then subsequently repeat if we reach 47 through 50, 57 through 60. Which I don't think we will. I think Khazad-dûm certainly may not even reach the next hour-long episode. This campaign is already on the wind down to victory. It really, really is. So, I don't know how many more episodes you'll get out of Khazad-dûm. And of course, Angmar is at a point where it's either sink or swim now. We're either about to turn it around and start winning, in which case it might be longer, or we're about to be destroyed, in which case it's over. Oh, I forgot to move you, apparently. Gondor, I think, has the potential to endure. Of course, in the Gondor campaign, as I've already said, and I'm not sure why I'm saying now, but I'm not going to destroy the ring to destroy Mordor. I'm going to consider Mordor defeated when I've taken all of their provinces, because in version 2.0, that is going to be how it works. That fix has already been, or that change has already been implemented by Racer, which I'm very grateful for. So that has already come about, that change. Look, if they're going to come over here to try and get you, then we'll just try and flank them. Likewise, you guys flank around.
The battle.
You guys.
Good tidings.
Flank
The enemy
around.
general lies dead. We have sent the cart to hell.
You guys move in. You guys move in. You guys hit them in the back. You cut across. You come over there. Hey dwarfs, it's about to give the time. It's about time I give these
The
orcs
enemy
some
are
of
badly
fear.
bloodied. Look, Howard.
So
This is a
74
clear
dwarves
victory.
just paid with their lives, and 670 orcish filth paid with theirs. Speaking of orcs, the orc lore video created a furor because there were a few people who said how outrageously rubbish it was, and it's at best, at worst, it's just I can't remember the words they used, and then at best it was me spreading misinformation on purpose. And over time, I've now gotten to the point where these people, I can just laugh them off. But obviously, when it happened, it affected me greatly. And as such, I then read absolutely every single scrap of orcish information I could possibly find. And the resulting outcome was basically that my video is actually right. I just haven't presented it in the right order or the right way, or a few other really minor niggling points. There are some things that are just outright wrong, as I've already said. But most of the stuff, I say the words I would submit or I would suggest, which maybe that's just me being used to legal speak. But that doesn't mean that that is true. That means that is what I am submitting. And maybe these people, I feel I can call them laypersons now that I actually fully work in law. I've only been in it a day. Well, I haven't. I've worked for the courts for almost half a year, 3/4 of a year. And I've got a law degree. And I've got the LPC behind me. Anyway, I'm just being a snob at the moment. So maybe because these people aren't familiar with the terms suggest and submit, they don't realise that that doesn't mean that's true. That just means I am making up a theory. That's all that means. So if a lawyer ever says to you, I would submit, that is them saying, I'm suggesting this, you might not agree with it. But anyway, one of the key things I've found from the reading, though, is that the sort of prevailing opinion which I never really touched on. Maybe we can go that way. Ah, yeah, elves, we're going to walk through your lands and smack Dunnan in the back. The opinion that I've not really touched on is the suggestion is that because we don't really have a valid creation story for trolls or dragons, the general theory seems to be that Morgoth, that's Melkor and Morgoth merged into one word. The general theory seems to be that Morgoth can not create independent life that Eru Ilúvatar can, so he can't grant beings independent free thought, like free will, but he can imbue them with a kind of fake soul by giving them a part of his own soul. And that seems to be the suggestion of how orcs actually came to being. So the suggestion, the prevailing opinion, as I say again because I like that word a lot, seems to be that Melkor gives life to the orcs himself by basically breaking up his own existence into smaller parts and using that to give life to every single individual orc, dragon and troll. And despite the fact that he has been banished to the void, the non-place outside the realm of Arda, he is still able to make that life endure. And therefore, by extension, his lesser but equally as capable general, Sauron, the Uruk-hai are not half men. That was one of the outright mistakes from the video that I genuinely thought was true. And from a few bits and bobs I'd read, that would reinforce that, but that just teaches you to read deeper. So the Uruk-hai are not half men, half orcs. They are a stronger breed of orc bred purely by Sauron. Oh, I'd really want to withdraw, but we can't actually withdraw, and our armies have been caught. Right, we're going to have to fight this, and hopefully we're going to do it. Again, I've been caught off guard, because again, I've acted hastily. So the theory seems to be that Uruk-hai are a greater version of orcs, and therefore possibly Sauron might have even given them a bit of his own power. That's Glorfindel fighting a Balrog.
Be gaining the upper hand in this battle.
So the Uruk-hai, as I say, are just given life through Sauron potentially breaking up his own soul, or even taking orcs in existence, strengthening them somehow through his own magics, his own twisted power, but their life force may then just remain the life force that was granted them by Morgoth before. So that's the current sort of prevailing opinion. But I've read through many of the chapters of the history of Middle-earth, which I do own. And again, Tolkien just contradicts himself left, right, and centre. And one of the key flaws that one of the key issues the guy who particularly had problem with me had was that I didn't present the theories in the same way that Tolkien did, which was of course just absolutely stupid. And so anyway, that was just, I wanted to just touch on that. So if you want to impress your friends and tell them how orcs came into being, then say that the orcs are a creation of Morgoth by him basically horcruxing orcs, breaking up his own soul and imbuing his power into the orcs that they might live. That seems to be how they came about. But there is also, of course, added into that some orcs are just twisted humans, some orcs are just twisted elves. You can't get away from that because Tolkien does write that. He uses those words. Hold on a minute here, Misty Mountains. You attack me. So, kindly attack me. Stop running away. I should really move up there. Because the hill's just a bit more facing them. Oh, but it's not that great because of that lip. No, we'll just turn around if they do actually start attacking. Well, at the moment, they're content to just sit down there and move from side to side. I think they are slowly getting closer to us. Ever so slowly. Oh yeah, we are shooting them now. I'm going to move you in to stop those wargs charging. I'm sure you'll survive a warg charge. Oh, it looks like they're actually trying to gain the hilltop. The AI is once again using its brain. Very, very rare occurrence. They know that fighting on the steep hill is not going to do them any favours. So what we will do is we will pull back so that we can fight on a steep hill. I'm going to need you to run as well, otherwise you're going to get left behind. Form spear all. Yari yashigaru gozaimasu. I always think that whenever they go into spear wall, because that's what the Yari-yashigaru say in Shogun 2. Although I don't think they say... Do they say that when you tell them to go into shield wall, spear wall? I can't remember. Right, we're in position. Give 'em all you got, boys. Give 'em all you got. You run quickly because they're coming to flank our archers. Go on. That's right, there's only 70 of those archers there. Alright, you there, move out. Hit the goblin infantry. No one is now defensive, please. See, we've got some solid units. The Legion Shield Guard are very powerful. Should do some good damage there. Flanking on that side. What's the stats? 33% plays 10%. See, the strength of the dwarves is going to come into the fore here. The fact that each dwarf is so much more powerful than a standard orc. But then the orcs did have some good units amongst their number. This wasn't just orc rabble. Oh, and our general has totally been cornered. They cut him right out. Bastards. You there. Get back here. Support our general.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Come on.
Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
No, it doesn't. Have faith.
For the moment the fortune of battle goes our way.
Oh, you
let's
swing
pray
around
it
like a
remains
pendulum,
as
you do,
such.
mate. Make your bloody mind up.
The battle is very much in our favour. If
Yeah, it
we
is.
remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
We've done it. Oh, easily. 70% and only 30% of us have died. But they had Black Oryx of the Mountains in there somewhere. How have we killed them so damn easily? Oh, we've circled them totally. The orcs stand. To the death, then. To the death! Ah, they're running. So who's still fighting then? Just the archers? Mountain orc hunters out there. Oh, there's only one of you. It looks like the mountain orc hunters are actually running. Like they've just orchestrated a runaway, haven't they? Yeah, they're fleeing. They're not actually fleeing, but they are fleeing. Oh, that's such an annoyance, because now we can't press exit. We've got to watch these two units run across the entire bloody map. Oh, was the general on his own? Sorry, was there a general? I thought it was a captain. Oh, that was foolish. No, yeah, because I right-clicked on his name, didn't I? Rad something. Radishes. Well, they've been defeated. Victory is ours. They rue this day. Etc. etc. Speaking of lore videos, I will once again say that the next one is not going to be Fëanor. That's going to be the one after. The next one is going to be about the languages of Middle-earth, or more specifically, the writing of Middle-earth. I'm not going to touch upon Sindarin and its pronunciation, its rules, its sentence structure. I'm not going to talk about Quenya because I can't speak a single word of it. No one really knows anything about Khazad-dûm. No one knows anything about Black speech. No one really knows anything about Rohirric and its ancestors. All we really know is Sindarin and Quenya, and I only speak one of those. So I can't tell you anything about the... Well, I could do a video about Sindarin itself, but if I ever did do that, it wouldn't be a standard lore video. That would be a separate, non-lore video as a one-off about Sindarin.
Vanquished. This is a great victory, worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
That really was an outrageous victory. 468 kills the Dwarven Volunteers got. The Legion Deeping Guard got 440, not to be underestimated. Shield Guard 225. The Zenith Guard got 340 on his own. Look at those stats. Oh my god. This is why these campaigns can be easy sometimes. We killed 10 times the number we lost. It's unbelievable. Urukai. Kill them all.
A proud victory.
Really? You want to attack me after what just happened? Alright. Come one, come all, friends. Oh, now Lugher has a small but very, very strong army. Battle of the Gundabad Guard, the defensive version of the Black Oryx of the Mountains. Trolls, heavy goblin halberds always a threat, and crossbows, a particular enemy of the dwarves
We attack.
because they do damage to armor piercing. Oh, it's the Glorfindel one again. Glorfindel is killed by that Balrog, but he kills it, and then Glorfindel is sent back to Middle-earth for his deeds. Defies everything. Oh look, we got our own little bit of a hill that we can go to, just there. And we'll do just that. Oh, it's a bit more of a hill on this side actually, isn't it? Right, so, because our archers here, we really, really want as much damage to those trolls as you can muster. Pikemen, of course, no bonus against trolls. Trolls are infantry, not elephants. Once again, come on, lads. You attack me. Get a jog on. Our hope here is that our archers can bring down a lot before the enemy actually reaches us. Also, if the enemy could come at me head on, I'd really appreciate that. Doesn't look like they're going to. Assemble the lines. Yeah, everyone move slightly over there a bit. The song we're currently listening to is one of the base games. This is a medieval song. Medieval 2. Possibly one of the expansions. Teutonic, perhaps. Fire at will, Commander. Please at least kill one troll before they reach us. Just one. Yes! Now maybe two. Is it too much to ask for two? Yes, yes it is. Throw everything we've got at them.
The battle is very much in our favour. If
Oh,
we
wow.
remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Pikes may not get any bonus against them. And they don't even have a bonus against armor. They're just great. Pikes might not get any bonus against them, but they sure as hell bring them down. You'll be safe in my company.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Ah, the crossbows have been brought down.
Only
as well before
half
they can do
the
any
enemy
damage.
force remains.
Sentries and shield and deeping guard. Let's pull the deeping guard out. We don't need 3 units over there. Could do more with more of you attacking the deeping, the Gundabad guards. There we are. I hit them. The Gundabad guard will probably fight on the most. Oh, they're running. The Gundabad guard will last the longest, he says. They won't run, he says. Oh, well, another one where they're just going to back out. At least rout so that I can end the battle. Bastards. Bastards. Many thanks to all of those of you who found and joined in with our Discord chat, our Discord group. Once again, I'm not going to mass promote the Discord group because with the small little bit of promotion that I did, we grew in size 1.5 times. By that I mean we went from 100 members to 160 members, just shy of 1.5 times. And so now we have 150 members. And of those 150 members, maybe 25, 30 of them actually play games with the rest of us. And that's what, like, if you've got a genuine reason, that's fine. If you don't like Age of Empires and you're just waiting for a different game, I'm sure we will play other games in time. That's fine. But I know that there's a large majority of you who are just there just because it gives you some sort of slight exposure to me. And now that's not something I really should try and stop, let's be honest. But I just don't understand it. I don't post anything on there. It's not like on there you're going to get pictures of my house or me quipping wittily daily or anything like that. I genuinely just use it to play games with people. Same with Steam. Steam has nearly 720 odd members, something like that.
Look how our
And
cowardly foe runs.
barely any of
It
them
is
play the
time
games
to
with us.
press the attack. The enemy are utterly vanquished.
83
This
with
is
us.
a great victory, worthy of all.
That's the Ithilien. Frodo and Sam find the statue that doesn't have the head anymore. It has exactly as this image has. It has a rock with the Mordor eye on it. Now, what's this guy's name? Because we're going to blooming well name Zag-Galor after him, because that was a phenomenal victory. A phenomenal set of victories. Oh, let's choose
I am a
Aragorn.
warrior, not an emissary, my lord.
Dunlarak got a mining complex. Yes. What do we think is going to be the most money? Probably the wharf. Oh, we've got so much money, it doesn't matter. Actually, we'll go with the roads, because roads are always a good idea.
Aye, my liege.
Oin the good. But Barlin's never going to make it there now, actually, is he? Oh, he might do, but they might attack him on the way. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Also, he's not going to be able to join. Nah, he'll be alright. Go on, Barlin.
To glory. Will command me.
Glory or death.
If the enemy
Preferably
approach,
glory.
you'll ken it, son.
Oh, is that my
We
watch?
make
Did that just
camp
vibrate?
here,
Just come through?
lads.
No, I put my watch up there behind me.
Set watches. We rest here.
I have a smartwatch, you see, and I have my phone
have
set to
a
constantly
proposition
never make
for us?
noise or vibrations or anything.
It's good to see we could reach. There is something else you wish to propose, then?
How about all of that, and I will give you 10 grand.
I do not believe I may.
Jog on, Aragorn, you
Another
greedy
proposition.
bastard.
We're happy to listen.
Alright, how about then I give you that without the trade access and 7 grand. Without the troop movement.
I am not quite.
You are such a
Another
greedy little
worthy
bastard.
Proposal, then. Excellent.
Alright, I'll give you a tribute of 1 grand over 11 turns instead.
How could we
There
refuse?
we
Well, that seemed fruitful.
Now that we're allied to
Farewell.
them, we should be able to ally to Bree a bit easier. I just didn't want to be backstabbed without realising. Because the Northern Dunedain are not allied to anyone else that I am. Because apparently I'm not even allied to Ered Luin. So there could have been a bit of a campaign dilemma here if Bree decide to attack me, because I'm not allied to them, and nor am I really
Where's
enemies
the
with their
fight?
enemies, other than Dunland.
We make camp here, lads.
The Breelanders are at war with Dunland and Isengard and the Misty Mountains. Oh, so I am actually at war with most of your enemies. I'm properly at war with the Misty Mountains, and I'm properly at war with Dunland. For some reason I'm at war with Rune. Has there been an invasion called on my lands that I'm unaware of? Oh, we're not growing here at all either. We should try and get farms. They make you grow. And Dunyard still remains. Yeah, no problems down there. Isengard. Isengard, are you attacking Enedwythe or are you not? Good lord, your enemies are everyone. You literally are enemies with everyone. Oh, except me. We're still neutral. Yes, Isengard. I'd join you, Isengard. I'll help you fight Enedwythe. I'm game. Right, who's going to stay behind? Who can we retrain? We can retrain the Dwarven Travellers and Dwarven Engineers. The rest of you are going back to Khazad-dûm.
Onward.
Successful campaigning done. Return home, retrain, and then you'll be back out. Oh, you need proper units. You've got nothing. Oh, and you also can build me a road. So has everywhere built something? You're about to finish building. I don't really need military there, though. It's not really... Oh, we can get a brewery after we've got that there. It's going to be a while before that's built anyway. That's got a big queue. Byrig, you've just finished. You're very dwarven. And I want money from you, really. You're going to upgrade soon, so go with one of those. Are you building? No, you're not. You can build me. I can get a proper barracks, an archery range, an armourer, market. Oh, yeah, I think I might go for money here because you're now a very safe province. Trade is the best way to make money. Always is. Culture increases here. We'll upgrade the culture here before we do anything else. So we'll build all of our culture-related buildings. Oh, the feast hall's the last one, actually, isn't it? Change it all from Elven to Dwarven. I'm very excited for
Dear
this.
service.
Ah, and our armies can finally meet.
An honor, my lord. Marching now.
Oh, now there's a question. Do we attack the forces of Dol Guldur? Oh, we probably should, because they can get us. We're not really ready for them, are we? Caras Galathon. But then once you are up and ready, surely you're quite a high level. Yeah, army barracks there. Because Dol Guldur are going to be a problem then. Although Lothlorien has that region, but Lothlorien doesn't have that region. And I can see Dol Guldur coming through Caras Galathon just to reach Foradrain as we now border with them with Fenberg. Or do we press on for Goblin Town? No, I think we should press on for Goblin Town. We'll come back and deal with Dol Guldur. I don't particularly want to fight Dol Guldur because obviously the Wooden Realm campaign up until right now has been all Dol Guldur. So you're well aware what they look like. You know what their armies are like. I'm not too fussed about repeating that battle scenario. Something I need to touch on now, which is really late in the video, really, because many of you would have skipped most of this. I certainly would. It's an hour-long video. I don't know why people like them. Anyway, I should stop being so cynical. I don't plan on doing a recording now, but almost for this whole week. To be honest, I'm really unsure about what I'm going to do.
Courage, men.
Clear defeat, but at least got away.
Quickly.
Because obviously we're massively out of schedule, and the next thing that should go up would be a faction overview. But a faction overview on a Wednesday when it should be on a Sunday, that's 3 days late. And
Aye, my liege.
I don't think we're going to need Balin there. I mean, look, Oin the Good's actually as good as you. Oh, I didn't realise that. Yeah, no, Balin, you're not needed at all, mate. Come back and
In
keep
your
building
name,
towers.
sire. Aye. Move out.
Well, the Alt-Lucy
We
Mountains
march no
again
farther
trying to
today.
take
Aye,
the lands
sire.
of Mladris. So I will see what I've got. I might do like an Age of Empires video again or something like that. Because as I say, I'm going to now just stop. So the next video that you will get that's normal will be the faction overview this coming Sunday, and then it will return to normal. Angmar on a Monday, sorry. Gondor on a Tuesday, Woodland Realm on a Wednesday, and Khazad-dûm on a Friday. So then it will go back to normal.
Something to invest.
So for the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week, 4 days, will probably only be maybe 1 or 2 videos tops, and I don't know what they'll be. They'll be unrelated to these standard campaigns. It's sort of like a week off. Partly as well because obviously I've just started this new job. This is the first week, so it's good to just get my head sorted around the job and then come back to YouTube when I'm into the job. I've done what I needed to do. Set. So it's panning out quite nicely. I probably will do maybe one video, like an Age of Empires video or something like that, to fill in the time. Also because I'm sure Jess's Little Blue Ferret's Magicka video will probably go up this week. That series will start, and I want to do a video to link to that when it does go up because I really enjoyed it. I really want to keep playing it. It was such fun, and it won't be a particularly long one. I can't imagine it's a very long game. It's a child's game again, but it's not. It's a good one. It's a good one that borders on a childish kind of aesthetic, but the game itself is actually a child would take some real training to get used to it. Ah, Khazad-dûm West got a Telkarin armourer. What do we want from here now? Oh, a mining network. Yeah, go on. So we could get an army barracks and get even more of our good units. Is that the top of the barracks? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, go on then. Make it a proper, legit, full-on recruitment centre. Oh, Linden and Breland have all suddenly declared their hatred for everything.
Aye, my liege. An enemy to crush.
Build us one more down
The
there
enemy
so we can
approach.
see everything.
You'll ken it, sire.
And then you go to there, Balin, you go to there.
Marching now.
And that will give us full
Aye,
range. So
noble
Balin, you
sire.
return up there to
Sending
carry
a
on with
vigilant
that.
watch and honor
And you
before.
stand on that bridge and
We
besiege
march
this
to
town.
battle. Aye,
Taking a
sire.
full assortment of
Laying
rams
siege
because
at
we're going to be
once.
here for a while. If they attack us, they've got to
Awaiting
fight
your
off
orders,
us
sire.
on a bridge. 1,
Aye,
2,
my
3,
liege.
4, 5. 5 units of archers are going to decimate the bastards.
Yes.
And then Mengelin will be Dundan's only province, and they will be defeated. Very good news indeedy. Indeedy. But I think that'll probably end this episode then. We've done everything we wanted to do. It's been lovely and relaxed, which I actually welcome greatly.
We march to
Bypass him. We're going to take their town.
By your will,
Goblin
sire,
Town's
we
going to
shall
give... Oh, I
engage.
didn't name that after you, did I?
Aye, noble sire.
Which one was it? Freri, the brown-bearded guy. Oh, yeah, definitely. Look at those command stars. Don't know what town is in Dwarven. I don't know any words of Dwarven. And Burr is Old English, which Dwarven doesn't come from. Freri. I know what it'd be in Sindarin. It'd be Osfreri or Caras Freri or Freri Tur, Freri Thur. But they wouldn't name it an elven name. What names can we butcher and pilfer from the rest of the world? What have we got? We've got Tumunzahar was the old name of one of the two. Nogrod or Belagost. What are you called? Gahuzanar. Faham Gathol. I like Zanar. We could call it Zanur. let's guess that, because this is called Kirig Gathol and that's called Faham Gathol, let's assume that Gathol means something related to, so we'll call it Freri Gathol. That's better, isn't it? Yeah, better. Oh, and you can build me a door. Yeah, yes, please. Mines. Right, so that will end the episode. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. As I say, there will a recap of the messages for this episode. There won't be anything now until any of the normal Divide and Conquer videos until next week, starting this Sunday. So there'll be a 4-day gap with no DaC related videos, where there might be an Age of Empires video. I'll yet to see. I don't record a video on a Wednesday anyway. I'm not even at home. So it would be either tomorrow, Tuesday, or the day you're watching this, Tuesday or Thursday. We'll see. Who knows? Stay tuned on Little Blue Ferret's channel for the Magicka campaign. And also, if you haven't checked out Little Blue Ferret's channel, please do. You can see her from, if you go to my channel, she's recommended on the top right-hand side. I won't link it in this video because people will think it's a link to Magicka and then they'll moan about that because people don't listen to everything. So check that out. And allow me to apologise for the Woodland Realm video. I'm sorry that I was such a moaner and grumpy and whatnot. But also, go a little bit easier on the don't cheat, don't cheese. I did what was necessary. And I've not given myself money or given myself troops or anything. So, calm it a bit. But equally, I will tone it down. So that will be everything for now. And until we speak again, dearest friends, I'm going to say Navar Naden Perimad Melunin, which means farewell until we speak again, my friends. And farewell.